Hi, I'm Addie with the Pickaway County Library, bringing you this week's Family STEM Challenge. This week we're going to look at why we have seasons and also noticing the sun's shift on the horizon.
For the first part of this experiment, you're going to need a flashlight, a compass, a piece of paper. We just had 12 by 18 drawing paper, but whatever you have is fine. Some kind of cardstock or a cardboard box or something to attach your paper to, and a box or something to prop your flashlight up on. Okay, so you're going to use the compass to draw a circle on your paper. It doesn't matter what size paper you have, just use what you have. Draw your circle, and then you're going to attach it to your cardstock or your cardboard, whatever you're using. And then you're just going to prop that up against a wall, and you're going to place your box in front of it. You're going to want to place it so that your flashlight can shine perfectly in the center. So adjust your box so that the most intense light is forming a nice circle right at the center. I'm going to leave our flashlight off because it was hard to see exactly where the most intense light was. But basically just make sure that your flashlight is turned on. The most intense light is right there in the center, just forming a small circle. And then you're going to tilt your paper from the top. We'll just pull it away from the wall and make observations about how that changed the light, where the most intense light is, where it's less intense, and maybe where there's no light at all. Write down your observations and then do the same thing from the bottom. You're tilting away from the wall, again, just at an angle so that you can kind of see how that changes the light. Record your observations where the most light is, most intense light, less intense light, and maybe where there's no light at all. Here's a little chart that's explaining what we were just doing. The Earth is tilted at a 23.5 degree angle, and that's what we were doing with our paper. We're pulling it out. You don't have to measure and get an exact measurement of the angle, but just representing the tilt that Earth has. And so depending on where you live, what line of latitude you live closest to will determine how significant of a change you see from season to season. And so here we have what Ohio is like in each of the seasons, as far as how much light we're getting, and is it more direct light or more intense light, less intense light. And I will put a picture of this below in the comments for you to refer to.
For the second part of our challenge this week, we're going to be watching the sun's shift on the horizon. So we're just going to be watching where the sun is setting from day to day. So you'll see in our pictures, we took a picture, I think it was February 14th, and then we took another one on March 1st. And in that 2 weeks, you can see a pretty significant change. And then we have another one a couple of days after that. The change is pretty significant this time of year because we're so close to the spring equinox, which is coming up on March 20th. So it's a great time to start this challenge now and watch it closely over the next few weeks. You can also do this throughout spring and watch the changes as we get closer to summer. But each day you can take a picture of the sunset, you can draw it, or you could just write down your observations, where you notice the sun setting, and then the next day record if you notice any change.
Here we have a chart explaining sunsets in Ohio and where the sun is usually setting depending on the season. So you can see on the left, the southwest is where the sun is typically setting during the winter. Spring and fall, it's more due west, and then summer, it's a little more northwest, as well as how much daylight we have. The least daylight during the winter, the most daylight during the summer, and then kind of right in the middle with 12 hours each during the spring and fall. I'll also put a picture of this chart below in the comments for you to refer to.
We hope you've enjoyed this week's challenges. We would love to hear from you about your experiences with these challenges, and we would love to see pictures of your sunsets. Please feel free to share those below this video on our Facebook page at Pickaway County Library.